We were really looking forward to this season. As I look at our team, we just didn't have many weak spots. In fact, we were going to be strong in most every area.
Right into the game, we crazy for our players. When we come to town, you better say your prayers. Ice all in our veins, we don't listen to haters. We so hype right now.
As far as the conference is concerned, I don't think anyone could have beat us last year. We dominated the conference and we returned a lot of our best athletes. So I just don't think anyone would take us. Regionals, a lot the same story. We won last year and have won several in a row. And I have to think that we were the odds-on favorite to win regionals one more time again. And then MHSAA, we had some outstanding athletes with Thad and Zach and Charles, and we had some people I think could have scored in other events, but those three almost for sure would have scored at the state final and put us somewhere in the top 10 in the MHSAA for sure.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Jake Fisher. He's a really humble, reliable, hardworking guy. I really appreciated having him around. He's one of our most technically sound kids in sprinting, relays, and long jump. Took a ton of time off his 100 and 200 times since his freshman year. And in just his second year long jumping as a junior, added a couple inches there too. And we were really excited about what another year of getting stronger and faster would have done for him this spring.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Next, we got Thad Gamble, who's obviously really talented, but also showed a ton of growth as a competitor and as a leader over his first 3 years. He was in the hunt for a state title in the 100 and the 4x1 this spring after multiple all-state finishes in each of those in his career so far. Finished third at state in the 100 last year, and he's one of 2 sprinters we've had break 11 seconds and had a legitimate shot at our school record this spring.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Also have DAVION GILLEN, who dabbled in track and lacrosse for his first 3 years, but joined us pretty much full-time as a junior. And he was a staple on our varsity 4x1 for most of the season last year and was going to be a key member of really deep and talented boys sprint group this spring.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Next, we have AJ Williams, who's another just really solid kid, super coachable and dependable. Showed a ton of improvement in his speed and strength and technique over his first 3 years. And he always had to balance work and track his sophomore and junior year, but did a great job just dedicating the time that he had to helping himself and his teammates get better. It's a really good role model for a lot of our guys.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
And then finally, we have Josiah WOLTJER. He worked his butt off for 3 years and was ready for a big-time breakout season this spring. He subbed on a few varsity relays last year, and it seemed like he was ready to grab a spot for good this year after some really strong winter workouts. Took some major steps in the 200 and long jump last year, and another just awesome kid to have on the team. Just demonstrated everything that we want our athletes to be and do.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Adam is just an awesome kid. So much fun to watch and interact with. One of the highlights that I recall about Adam is a couple of his races from last track season where he just ran amazing PRs, personal records, in both the mile, and then he came back and did it in the 800 as well. He got his mile time, or 1,600 meter time last year, down to a 5:18, which is just super impressive. It was just great to see his smile on a daily basis, his enthusiasm, his excitement that he brings to the team. It's just been an awesome getting to know Adam.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Graham has been an absolute pleasure to coach these past 4 years in cross country and in track. He's just super committed. He's excited. He takes a leadership role. Last season, he desperately wanted to just really come out in the 1,600 meter run. And I remember about 2/3 maybe through the season, all of a sudden it just clicked, and he just ran an amazing 1,600. He ran a 4:43, and the next week he ran a 4:42, almost a 10-second PR when he did that.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Up next, we've got Jack Long. Jack is an incredibly determined person. And he has just managed to get the most out of himself just on a daily basis. It is just, every time I watched him run last year, I was amazed. He was just a huge leader on our team over his last couple of years. He was part of our state qualifying 4x8 relay team last season. And I was super excited to see what these guys were going to do this year. We're going to just truly miss Jack's leadership, his humor that he brings, and also that determination.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
We also have Jack LUYMES. And Jack LUYMES is just a fun person, quick-witted, and just says some funny things, and just brings this lightheartedness and humor to our team that we're really going to miss. Again, he was a key component in our 4x8 last season. We were looking forward to seeing what kind of splits he was going to put up this year as well. Fortunately, in cross country, he finished his career just running an amazing performance at cross country finals, and received an all-state performance for that. So on a good note, he was able to leave his running career with that all-state performance, but he will be greatly missed.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Up next, we have Ben Peterson. Ben Peterson is just another really, really hard worker. A kid who's just gifted in so many different ways, and he had many, many talents and interests at Grand Rapids Christian. So he's always super, super busy, but he still found the time to participate in our cross country and track teams, to work hard, to bring this kind of leadership role, this maturity role to our team. And it has been just awesome to see him pour his dedication to so many things. And it's going to be fun to see where he ends up, where his focus, what he's going to pursue down the line. But we're going to miss all that hard work that he's put in.
Yeah, Ben was doing both high jump and hurdles. He did a great job at both. He was always one of the first ones to either the high jump pad or the starting blocks ready to go, and making sure his steps were correct.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
We have Jonathan SHIPPERT. Unfortunately, last year he was injured a little bit here and there, but he still pushed through, and he was willing to just on a daily basis to work hard, to cross-train when needed, to try to keep that optimism up, which of course helps the team. He's hoping to kind of pursue some running next year. We're hoping to see him at some meets here. Hopefully he'll be running for either Grand Rapids community or Lansing community. So I hope that he makes that work out, and I wish him the best.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Ethan has been a huge part of our cross country and track teams these past 4 years. Just as typical to a lot of our runners, he just really just loved the sport, loved to study the sport. Last season in track, he had just a great season, really leading our 1,600-meter runners. I still remember when he broke 4:40, I believe it was at our conference race, ran a 4:39 1,600 meter, and just really had a great season. Kept that going in the fall in cross country, and just like Jack, he was able to finish at the state meet in cross country with just a stellar performance, and also received that all-state award. So he's just been a great person, again, a great runner, great person, a great leader, and again, it's going to be a hard shoes to fill as we look to the future.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
So Brady Enders, he was a pole vaulter, tremendous work ethic, and just a great attitude. Last year he had a PR of 12'9", and I think, we could have got him over 13, so it was exciting to see.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Then we have Matthew MAUREN. He also was primarily a pole vaulter. Again, a great attitude, a great work ethic. Loved the pole vault. His PR was 10 foot last year, so we were looking forward to him maybe creeping up to 11 foot, which would have been awesome for him.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Elijah was in the long jump, hurdles, and sprints. All three of them were very valuable for us, as he was able to be counted on in all three of those events.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Next, we have Charles THIAM, and I really can't say enough about him. He had such a great attitude, and he worked so hard. He was our #1 point getter for the season last year, so we could count on him to score more than anyone else. He was an outstanding high jumper, an outstanding high hurdler, an outstanding low hurdler. We used him in sprints and relays. We really could plug him in just about any event. What an incredible kid. What a great athlete.
We are GIC, we are GIC. Winning is the key.
Next, we have Zach Veenstra, and Zach had one of those memorable state finals last season when he ran the race of his life and came out all state, finishing 4th in the 300-meter hurdles. We had a lot to look forward to because Zach was also a great high hurdler, where he really helped. He helped with relays and sprints, and he also did the long jump for us. So another very valuable athlete on our team that we will miss next year.
I got 10 bazillion in my student section. I got 10 bazillion in my student section. We are GRC, we are GRC. Winning is the key, winning is the key.